So let me get this straight. That was one heck of a twist ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think I understand it. I think I do. Uh, and it's a lot like a couple of movies. I'm not gonna mention what they're a lot like because that would ruin it. I'm hoping it is what I think it is, and I think I got it, but it got a little confusing there for a second, but I think I got it. The second and third acts are a little too repetitious. That was where it was starting to lose me. Because there were so many characters that the main character was transforming into. I was trying to track the whole, like, okay, who is the main character, like, right now, or is this just like a different character that we're following right now? That was the whole part of when I was starting to get lost. Was it wasn't clear as to when the main character is transforming into someone, or if we were just following a random person. And I'm pretty sure we were just following someone that the person had transformed into off screen, because it had been done so many times at that point. And that's kind of the point, is there's like a journey that goes across basically forever against all dimensions. You know what? I will say what it's like. It's a lot like Enter the Void meets Predestination meets Tangled meets Dark. Okay, if you got that. It's just a wacky storyline. It's kind of what I thought it was gonna be. But to the degree that it took, it was at the very end there, I was like, okay, so that was kind of what I was thinking. All right, and again, what I'm comparing it to, what I think the twist ending is, I could totally be wrong about it, because the movie's very subtle with its plot and everything, and how it does twists and things like that. So I could be wrong. I may be misinterpreting it, but this movie really wowed me. It got like a little stale in parts from over repetition, but it never got boring. The cinematography is gorgeous. The soundtrack is great. The performances are off the wall great. The movie's terrifying. The first act of this movie is actually perfectly executed. It's very easy to follow. Though this movie is extremely challenging. I'm sure you could guess that. A lot of the dialogue is translated into broken English but subtitled, and yeah, that can be hard to follow. Because it's not very literal, just like the movie itself. So it takes a lot of like patience to get through it. And I'm not just talking about like the repetition, like the dialogue itself. You feel like you have to decode while you're reading it. You're like, what? Okay, I think I get what you're trying to say. I think so. All right. But yeah, that it also reminds me a lot of The Witch, or The Vitch. I don't know how you pronounce it. It reminded me a lot of that as well. It's very, very good. Yeah, even though it had a little lull when I was like, okay, it's repeating these different people's lives with the same lines of dialogue over and over again, a little too much. And yet, oh boy, oh man, oh boy, oh man. But it still didn't. And I could see how it could be very bothersome to a lot of more mainstream audiences, or people calling it pretentious, because it is a little bit. But I was able to not let it bother me just because it's so well done. The opening is still like actually terrifying. The whole first act, it's like really disturbing. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It caught me off guard in several different places and evoked a very strong emotional reaction within me. So all the best movies do that. I'm not sure what I'd give it out of 10. Probably like an 8.5, something like that.